ladies and gentlemen, the end of August is fast approaching, and I haven't really purchased that many books this month, so I thought that I would go ahead and show you all the books that I have currently checked out from the library, kind of hoping that this will inspire me to pick up some of these books and not go out and purchase anymore. Also, you may have noticed that I've been doing lots of book talks this month. I've kind of burnt myself out on book talks, so I thought that this would be a nice change of pace and that you guys might enjoy it. The first two books that I have to show you are books that I've already shown you guys because I read them during the 7 and 7 readathon. The first one is Freehand, Sketching Tips and Tricks Drawn from Art by Helen Birch. As I stated in my wrap-up video, this is an excellent book for visual reference. I found it a little overly simplistic, but it has a nice variety of drawing that I look forward to showing you whenever I do my book talk. The next book is Fortunately the Milk by Neil Gaiman. This is a charming little children's book that I mostly picked up because of the artwork by Scotty Young, which I also look forward to showing to you soon. This tells the story of a quirky dad who has just been left with his children because his wife's going away on a trip. He needs to go and get milk for his kids' cereal and for his tea, but he takes a little longer than usual. So when he gets back, he tells them all about this adventure that made him late bringing back the milk, involving time travel and a stegosaurus in a hot air balloon. The next book I got from the Magical Interlibrary Loan System, and it is Sputnik Sweetheart by Haruki Murakami. My interest in Murakami has recently been reignited because of Steve Reed's books. He did an excellent video announcing his months of Murakami, and this was one that he had mentioned that he had said he had read before, because I have only read one Murakami, and it's Norwegian Wood, and while I completely loved it, I've heard that it's the least Murakami, so Steve Reed's book suggested that this would be a good one to read next. It's really hard to explain, as I'm finding out with all of Murakami's books. It seems to be about a young woman who falls in love with a fellow classmate until she meets this older businesswoman who she falls in love with, but causes her to go into another dimension or something. So in our dimension, the older businesswoman is trying to find out what's going on with the missing girl, and all kinds of hijinks and shenanigans ensue. But I've heard it's classic Murakami and short and sweet and good. So I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully I can get to it soon before I have to return it to Interlibrary Loan. As I mentioned, I have been kind of interested in Murakami, and I was rather ambitious and picked up Hard-Boiled Wonderland and The End of the World by Murakami, which I've heard is kind of a very complex one that I can't really even explain. On Goodreads, it's described as part science fiction, part detective fiction, and part postmodern manifesto. It sounds really quirky, and I'm kind of worried that this one's going to go over my head, but I've actually been interested in this one for quite some time because I've had some friends in real life and other online friends mention how good this book is, so hopefully I'll get around to this and can get my head around it as well. The next book I feel like I may have shown you guys before, but it is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This is a historical fiction novel set during World War II, but it's set in France, and I believe it's set around a young German soldier and a young French woman who is blind. And somehow their stories magically intertwine. And every time I see this book sitting on my little pile, I get really excited about it, but I just haven't gotten around to it because it's so huge and I'm in the middle of so many other things that I want to read. But I hope that I can get to this one before I have to return it to the library. Again, I think I've shown you this next book in a TBR, and I have yet to get around to it, and it is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. This is a young adult contemporary novel about two friends, one who is very adventurous and one who really just kind of tags along with her spontaneous friend, until one summer her friend kind of goes mysteriously missing, but leaves behind a list of things for her to do to get out of her shell. And the quiet friend thinks that if she finishes all of the tasks set before her, that maybe she'll find out what happened to her friend. This sounds really sweet and good and perfect for summer, even though summer's nearly over here. I hope to get to it. Again, this is another book that every time I see it sitting in my little pile, I get really excited. So hopefully this will happen soon. And the last book I have to show you, I pretty much picked up from the library when I saw that it came in because it's a beautiful edition of a book. It is Jamaica Inn by Daphne du Maurier. I have Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and I haven't read it yet, but this just was a beautiful book and I wanted to take it home, and it's almost like owning it, but not quite. I've heard that it's excellent. I posted a picture of this on Instagram and heard rave things about it. Since it's du Maurier, it is a classic Gothic novel, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. Especially when I picked it up, that sounded really wonderful. I don't know much more about this book, but I do look forward to it, and it just feels nice. Look at it. Look at it. And in case you're wondering, this is the Virago Modern Classic Edition. So those are all of the books I currently have checked out from the library. Realistically speaking, I probably won't read all of these before they become due. Please leave your suggestions on what you think I should read first in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I should see you soon with a brand new video.